Oh, Canada, what have we done?
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Democracy simply doesn't work.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Johnny Says So, episode 40. And tonight, I want to share my thoughts on last night's crushing defeat of Pierre Poilievre at the hands of Mark Carney and his newly reimagined Liberal Party. That's right, guys. With just 144 seats, Pierre Poilievre did not make it past the post. He was not able to form a majority or a minority government. The blue wave never came. But you know what? The election really was too big to rig. In that, I don't believe it was rigged in the traditional sense. Unfortunately, guys, Canadians asked for this. And if you want to ask me why, I'll tell you it's because of this. At the end of the day, a lot of Canadians, unfortunately, are just not invested in politics. They don't pay attention to it, and as much as I like to say the legacy media is dying, it's not dying quickly enough. There are still hordes of people out there that believe the narrative, and a lot of them are old, and a lot of them vote. We did not get the numbers out there for the youth vote that we needed to affect real change in this country, and it's going to come back to bite us in the ass for years to come. Mark Nixon putting this out on Twitter. Canada, you can thank your liberal boomers for last night's election results. Their number one issue, dealing with Trump. Their lowest concerns, housing affordability, making Canada a better place. Priorities completely upside down. So look at this graph here, guys. I'm going to blow this up for you so you can see it just a little better. So in the blue here, we have 18 to 29. In the lime green, we have 30 to 44. Beige, we have 45 to 59, and red is 60 to over. Pay attention to the categories of the red that you're seeing here. This one right here, the highest one, highest priority for the baby boomer generation is dealing with Donald Trump. Their lowest priority, according to the graph, is making Canada a better place to live, making housing more affordable, and they're a little bit more concerned with protecting public services and managing the federal budget and deficit, and they're largely concerned with improving Canada's healthcare system and not so much interested in reducing your cost of living. Now, as bleak as all of this is, there are a couple of silver linings. Number one, the NDP has lost its status as an official party in the House of Commons, which I think is pretty spectacular. They need 12 seats and they only have 7. So there's that. Not that Jagmeet Singh himself is going to be disappointed, though, because, he's already got his pension. He spent the last 2 years propping up Justin Trudeau, and, now he's going to be able to retire comfortably. And, you know what? I'm sure Mark Carney will probably end up giving him a job at Brookfield for his service. And the other silver lining I have is that, although the Conservatives didn't win, Pierre Poilievre is not our Prime Minister. They did get the largest share of the popular vote they've had since 1988. So that, I think, is pretty spectacular. Now, as for Pierre Poilievre himself, the question remains, will he be able to be the official opposition leader? Now, he made some statements last night suggesting that he's not going anywheres, but this was also before he lost his seat. Now, this photo on your screen here, guys, this isn't a phone book. This is the ballot for Pierre Poilievre's riding of Carleton. Now, somewhere over here is Pierre Poilievre's name, and somewhere else is Bruce Fanjoy, who is the Liberal challenger, who ended up beating Pierre Poilievre in his riding by not a very large margin at all. Fanjoy won by about 3,800 votes, getting just over 50% support. So there it is, guys. Pierre Poilievre is an opposition leader without a seat. Now, I was really hoping that, we would see this happen to Mark Carney or Chrystia Freeland, but it did not go well for Pierre Poilievre at all. So Juno News put this up on Twitter. Chrystia Freeland, this is a great night for the Liberal Party. It's a great night for Canadians. Yeah, Canadians understood that the ballot question is who can fight for Canada, who can stand up to Donald Trump, and the answer is the Liberal Party and Mark Carney. Well, I guess that is certainly one way to frame it, isn't it, Chrystia? I mean, you know, if you made that the ballot question, didn't you? You and the media that you people buy and control. I thought we'd be done doing this, guys, but let's check in with Chrystia Freeland.
How are you feeling about where the Liberal Party is tonight? Yes, you're going to form government again. Not sure what kind of government, but what do you make of what has been a remarkable turnaround?
I think it's a remarkable turnaround, Rosie. You know, I look back to where we were as recently as December, and you know as well as I do that at that point, people had totally written us off. People were even talking about whether the Liberals would retain official party status. And right now, you are talking about what the strength of our government will be. So to me, that is a remarkable comeback, and I really want to say kudos to our Prime Minister, Mark Carney, who showed in his few weeks as Prime Minister that he is totally up to the job, and he has been a remarkable campaigner. So this is a great night for the Liberal Party. It's a great night for Canadians.
Has he been a remarkable campaigner? I mean, I'd say Pierre Poilievre really gives him a run for his money there, but hey, I guess Canadians have spoken, so what do I know?
What I have experienced in my own riding, supporting 27 other candidates in Ontario and places like Saskatchewan, is Canadians recognized that this was a critical moment for our country. Canadians understood that the
No, they were just told over and over and over and over again that it was a critical moment for our country. We were propagandized so bad, and a lot of people sadly took the bait. That's what happened here.
ballot question is who can fight for Canada, who can stand up to Donald Trump? And the answer is the Liberal Party and Mark Carney.
Now, Mark Carney has, in all fairness, wasted no time in standing up to Donald Trump. That's right, guys. Just minutes after he found out that he was securing a minority government, he had to just come out in full force and, once again, let everybody know that our relationship with our closest neighbor, military and economic ally is over. Listen to this, guys.
We are once again at one of those hinge moments of history. Our old relationship with the United States, a relationship based on steadily increasing integration, is over. The system of open global trade, anchored by the United States, a system that Canada has relied on since the Second World War, a system that, while not perfect, has helped deliver prosperity for a country for decades, is over. We have to look out for ourselves, and above all, we have to take care of each other.
So looking out for ourselves then, does that going to mean that we're going to be able to build energy infrastructure in this country and be self-sufficient? I certainly hope so. But as we've seen, Mark Carney is a big proponent of net zero and deindustrialization of this country. So we're going to have to see how that shakes out. I've never wanted to be more wrong about anything in my life. I hope for the sake of all of our children and our families that, you know, he rises to the occasion and he proves me wrong. I would love to see it.
When I sit down with President Trump, it will be to discuss the future economic and security relationship between two sovereign nations. And it will be with our full knowledge that we have many, many other options than the United States to build prosperity for all Canadians. We are one.
Do we, though? Do we have those options available to us right now? I want to know your thoughts in the comments. Do we have the infrastructure needed to easily trade with Europe just as easily as we do the United States? Will this not upend everything in our supply chains and just the way we do business in this country? I want to know what you think down in the comments. Now, speaking of obstacles to prosperity in this country, Bloc Québécois leader says he won't threaten to overthrow the government anytime soon. The country was still awaiting official results from Elections Canada when Blanchet spoke to the press in Montreal. The last thing Quebecers and Canadians want is instability in the federal parliament, according to Bloc Québécois leader Yves-François Blanchet, calling on his federal counterparts to drop partisanship and work hand-in-hand to fight U.S. President Donald Trump's threats. I do not see any other scenario than collaboration for at least a year, said Blanchet during a somber press conference the morning after an atypical election. That's right, guys. The Bloc Québécois is poised to be the new NDP. In that, with a minority government, Mark Carney won't have the mandate to pass the legislation that he wants to pass. Now, suppose he strikes a deal with the Bloc Québécois. Maybe they both have a vested interest in making sure Alberta oil does not make its way out east. And that would be bad for the East Coast, and that certainly would be bad for Alberta, who is getting increasingly frustrated with the entire political situation in this country. In fact, Danielle Smith had some somber and cautionary words. So let's go check these out.
I'll tell you what I think. I think that over 300 MPs got elected because they stood on a platform to get our resources developed, to work with provinces to establish economic corridors, and to get our products to market. I think the NDP got crushed, the Greens got crushed, and the Bloc Québécois lost ground because they were opposed to that agenda. And so I would hope that the current Prime Minister understands that his mandate comes from moderate voters who actually want this province to be a genuine energy superpower and the country to be a genuine energy superpower. And so that's why I believe we saw the outcome that we got last night. It wasn't because they doubled down on extremist environmental policies that would crush our industry. It was the opposite. They depicted themselves as wanting to create a new approach, one that would be in sync with what all the provinces are asking for, and that's what I'll be asking the Prime Minister to do.
So if you thought the election cycle was crazy, I don't think you've seen anything yet. To put it all in perspective, you have a globalist banker who has a minority government, and his basically only shot at governing is a shaky alliance with a Quebec separatist whose actions are going to piss off another province on the other side of the country who may have some separatist ambitions of their own if, things keep going the way that they're obviously going. Now, buckle up, guys, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be a crazy couple of years or months. And that's my show for tonight, guys. Now, I'd love to turn it over to you guys in the comments now. What do you make of all this madness? Were the election results what you expected? And what do you think is going to happen to the country going forward? I'd love to know your thoughts. So please, guys, if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, share it out on your social media, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.